So I'm at a foot to the stage.
Even the song. No. Young kids, like which kids are you talking about? Yeah, well, that's what it is. No, there wasn't, it's just everything that these kids know anyway, but.
Yeah, of course, exactly.
No,
Hola Mario,
¿cómo estás?
no apareció nada. ¿Ah?
¿Cómo estás?
Bien. What? Yeah. Yeah. So no apareció
Que,
el jefe todavía.
no, bueno, ayer hasta que decidieron 6:30,
¿Por qué hicieron 6:30?
porque vos no querías a las 7 y porque Walton no quería a las 8, qué sé. Le preguntan a mí y digo, it's okay, if I'm there, I'm there. If I'm not, I'm not.
We are on Samech Dalet 64.
Mhm. Well, I mean, before I forget, tomorrow davening starts very early at Youngest at 5:55, so you should make it
Okay, we can
different.
learn at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So the Gemara says, "Aval oikrin imo," you can work with a non-Jew to weed out a field with kloim, because you get rid of the kloim in part of that action. Even though you want the kloim to exist until you uproot it, in order for you, and sometimes if you want the kloim to exist, that alone is a problem. But because you're getting rid of the tifla, the bad stuff, which is the kloim, it's allowed. And savrua, that hamani Rabbi Kiva, the Omar Amakai Bekleim Loike. Rabbi Kiva holds that even if you just keep climb around, not only if you plant it, but just not destroying it, you get malchus, Titania. Amenachesh, if you weed out grasses that prevent growth, v'amachaper, this is aids in the assistance of the climb growing, like you get malchus, but you have to do something active. Rabbi Kiva, even if you don't do anything, you just don't uproot it, you already get malchus. My time in Rabbi Kiva, Amrakra, Sadcha lo sizra kloim. That's seeding. What about Makayim in Antam? Lo kloim. The lo kloim, you can't even allow climb to exist. However, lemu'ute tifla shari, but by weeding with the goy, even though in the meantime you want the climb to exist, in the end you're getting rid of it. So that's good. The Gemara says, "Lo, it's not Rabbi Kiva. Hamani Rabbanon." They allowed him a kind claim. But regarding Yayin Nesach, that you can't be Makayim, there's no proof, because Irabonon, my Irya Oikrin, why only tell me the case of, uprooting? Afilu Kaiming Nami, Kiyumin Nami Shapidami. Forget about uprooting, even just leaving it alone is okay. You did it with the goy without being paid. And you're giving a gift to a goy, which is Rabbi Yehuda. Shomer litain lehem naschinam also. You're not allowed to give a goy a gift. Now, Rabbi Yehuda Nishmal Rabbi Kiva that lavam Rabbi Yehuda also litain lehem naschinam. Fine, you can't give them a gift of alimute tifla shapidami, but maybe to get rid of prohibited climb is allowed. So Rabbi Kiva nami afal gavdam Rabbi Kiva makayim climb loike. Even though normally Rabbi Kiva says if you allow climb to exist, you get malchus, but to get rid of it, he agrees to it. the Sulomidi. And there's nothing more to be said up on the matter. The same time Chachamim were sitting and they asked the following question. Let's say a goy sells an idol and he has the money. What is he allowed to benefit from that? Mao. Mi toifes the mebiat goy is money that was paid for an idol in the hands of a goy permitted or not? Oh, lo. I believe he's allowed to use it. Why? Midahanu the asl kameh de Rabba Baravua. There were some goyim that came to convert to Judaism. Arbalu, listen, before you convert, Zilu zvini kol madi yislachot. Sell all of your avodah zaras. Because if you wait until you're in Israel and sell it, you're not allowed to benefit from that money. But as a goy, you are. And only after you have the money in your pocket, the su is gairu. Then be misgayer. My time, huh? Mishum t'ksavet me'avodah zara b'yad goy mutarit. And he's allowed to use such money. The Gemara says no proof. Dilma shani hasam the kivan the daiti leguri. Since they've come to convert Vadai Botla, it's not Avodah Zara. They were Mavad, they nullified the Avodah Zara. When they sold it, it was permitted. Ella, I'll give you another proof, Mehacha. Yisrael Shayanoisha Begoy. The Goy owned a Jew $100, and the Yisrael is trying to collect it. Mana. Umachar Avodah Zara. And the idol sold an idol. Vehevi lo. And he brought the money to pay back his loan. Or he sold Yain Nesach, Vehevilo, Mutter. That's unacceptable. Now, it seems to be a proof that if a goy sells an idol, or even Yain Nesach, the money in his hands could be used. Avalim Amr lo, but if the goy said to the Jew specifically, Hamtein li, wait for my payback, ad she'em kavod zar vavilacha, or Yain Nesach vilacha, then it's aser. But otherwise, money in the hands of a goy is permitted if he sells the idol. So first the Gemara wants to know, Maishna Reisha, Maishna Seifa. How come in the second case it's Asr? Amr of Sheisha, Seifa, Mishum Dahavale Rotza Bikiyumo. Once the Jew is informed by the non-Jew that he's going to sell the idol to pay him back the money, meanwhile, the Jew wants the idol to stay in existence until the time he sells it. That makes it prohibited. Does that prohibit it? But none. Ger, the goy, sheyarshu savi and goy. You have a convert and his brother who's a goy, and their father who's a goy. Ger Yachalomer Lo, the convert can say to his brother, who's the goy, Tolata Avodah Zara. Listen, our father left over all sorts of assets. You keep the statues, Vani Mos, I'll keep the money. Tolata Yain Nesach, you keep the Yain Nesach, Vani Peros. So you see, Rotza Bikiyumo is not Osir. Imishibo, once they inherited it, and there's just a ger, and it's in his rishus usher. He can't. He can't. But up until then, he's rotza b'kiyuma. Yet we say it's mutter. Amrav Baravula Masnisen B'avodah zara mislakeches lefi shvareha. We're talking about an idol made out of metal that's put together like an erector set. So even if it's broken, it wouldn't change the value because you can send pieces. So the ger doesn't really want that the idol stays as an idol. Fine. Tinech avodah zara. But how do you explain yain nesach, Michael? I mean, yain nesach isn't made out of parts; it's wine. So it seems like he's rotze b'kiyum of the yain nesach until he sells it. That should make it problematic. So the Gemara says this is not regular wine in a barrel. Becher sadraini. We've talked before about this. It was like pottery that they soaked wine in it, and the Roman soldiers would use it when they traveled. Then they would soak when they got to wherever they got, they soaked it in water. They got the wine out of there. So they're also where this is. So even if it broke, he's not rotze b'kiyumo because the wine is still there. V'alo rotze b'kiyumo shlo yignovu v'shlo yovedu. He still doesn't want it stolen or lost. So there's a rotze b'kiyumo aspect. Elam Rav Papa Yerusha Sager Ka'amrit. Shiny Yerusha Sager Dakilu Berabanan. You can't bring any proof from here because the Chachamim made special leniencies when a ger inherits. Gzer Shemayazr Kulo. Because we're concerned he's going to go back and become a goy. So they made it easier. It's only by Yerusha that there's a leniency. Aval nishtatfu, if they were partners, then it would be usher. Hadar Yosef Kamaboilu. They asked the fine question. Ger Toshav, Mar Shivat Avodah Zara. A Ger Toshav is a goy. He doesn't worship Avodah Zara though. We'll see what else he has to do. Some say he has to hold the Shava Mitzvahs Bnei Noach. We'll see. But he's not goy fully. So Mar Shivat Avodah Zara. Does he have the power to be mavatal an idol? Maybe the palach mavatal, the lo palach lo mavatal. Only somebody who worships an idol can be mavatal it. Someone who doesn't cannot. Oidilma, called to barmine mavatal, v'hai barmine. It's a species. Goyim can be mavatal. He's a goy. So Arun Rav Nachman Mistavra, it makes more logic than the palach mavatal, the lo palach lo mavatal. That if you don't worship, you can't be mavatal. However, Meisvei, Yisrael Shamatz Avodah Zara b'shuk. A Jew found an idol in the market. Before the Jew picks it up, he tells the goy to nullify it. Once the Jew picked it up, Eino Omer l'goy mevatla. He can tell any goy to be mevatel it. A goy can mevatel an idol whether it belongs to him or somebody else, whether he worships it or not. Now, what does it mean? My oivda, umay she'ena oivda. Ilema aidiva aidi goy. They're both goyim. One worships it, one does not. Well, hainu. Shalov v'shel chavero. That's already covered. Elalav oivda means goy. Umay ena oivda ger toshav. He doesn't worship at all of it. Shema mina ger toshav nami mevatel. From here, it seems to be a proof that a ger toshav can be mevatel. Lo, says the Gemara. Lo olam ema lecha aida v'aida is begoy. Both oivda and shaloy they were talking about regular goyim. Well, why doesn't that cover that? Because Reisha is where they're worshiping the same Avodah Zara. Zev Zela Pa'or or Zev Zela Markulas, they're both worshiping the same idol. Then each one can be Mavatal the other. And Seifa, Shezeh Lepa'or V'Zela Markulas, they both worship Avodah Zara, but not the same one. Even so, since they understand the concept of Avodah Zara, they can move mavatal it. But a ger toshav who doesn't worship Avodah Zara at all cannot be mavatal it. Meisvei. Now the Gemara is going to discuss what is a ger toshav. Kol shekibel alav b'fnei shlosha chaverim. He accepted in front of 3 Jews, Shul Avodah Avodah Zara div Reb Meir. The Chachamim are called shekibel alav sheva mitzvahs, shekibel alav b'nei noyach. He has to accept the 7 mitzvahs. Acherim oimrim. Ilu lo balach la ger toshav. Neither of these are a ger toshav. Eliezer ger toshav ze ger oichel nevelis. You're talking about a regular convert, but he has a taiva for nevela. Shekibel of the kaim kol mitzvah most betor chutz misr nevelis. He accepted all taryag mitzvahs except for nevela. We paskin that it's a goy that's makabel sheva mitzvahs nenoch in front of 3 people. Now, regarding when he touches wine, he's still a goy. Now, miyachtin etzlo yayin, you can put wine by him for a short period of time without a mashgiach, as long as he doesn't worship Avodah Zara. You can keep wine with him. Vein mafkin etzlo yayin. For a long period of time, you can't. Vafilu bir shuruba Yisrael, even though there's majority of Jews. Aval miyachtin etzlo yayin vafilu bir shuruba goyim. For a short period of time, you can leave with wine, even with a city majority of goyim. And then it says shamno his oil is kiyaino, is like his wine. What do you mean kiyaino? It's like a diet of shemen mi kiyavi yain nesach. We don't have a din of yain nesach by shemen. Ela yaino kishamno. His wine is like shemen. It's mutter bano, but can't eat it. Finish the brayso. L'shar kol davar areu kagoy. For all other things, he's like a goy. He has not been circumcised. So he's like a goy. Reb Shimon Omer Yeino Yain Nesach. His yain is Yain Nesach. The Amri law, Mutter B'Shtia. Some say you can even drink it. Ktani Mia, Ulashar Kol Dvar Avareu Kagoy. Now, what is that Lashar Kol Dvar? L'ma Hilchasa. La de Mavatal Avodah Zara Kagoy. He's allowed to nullify Avodah Zara. Omer Achbar Yitzchak Lo. Litain Rishus Levatel Rishus. Right? If you live in an apartment house with Jews and Goyim, in order to make an Erev Chatzeros, they have to be Mevatel their Rishus. So by Ger Toshav, they can be Mevatel Rishus. Yisrael Meshumid. A Yisrael who's converted to a different religion. Meshamer Shabbos B'Shuk. But he doesn't violate Shabbos publicly. Mevatel Rishus. He can mevatel his rishus nechotzer, so it's one rishus hayachid. But ein mishaber Shabbat rishus. Somebody who's machal Shabbos before Hestia, so he's not like a Jew. Ein mevatel rishus. They show me Yisrael notim rishus mevatel rishus. Only a Jew can do that. The goy ad sheyiskor, you have to rent from him his apartment. Kate said, how is a regular Yisrael give up his rishus? Oimer lo, he says to the guy who's living in your courtyard, rishus iknulacha, listen, for this Shabbos, I'm giving you over my rishus. Or rishus muvutaz lacha, right? I abolish it, kana. Vein tzarach l'zakos, you don't need another kinyan. Okay. Tomorrow, we said we'll learn at 4:00.
Okay, very honey.
Very good, everybody. Have a good evening.
Ernie, do they daven
Good night,
mincha by
everybody.
tzvika?
No, they daven Ma'ariv,
Not mincha.
not Mincha.
Okay,
Because it starts at 8:00. It's already too late.
that's true. Okay. Good night.
Good night.